On White Hart Lane at the moment. If you're just joining us, the match between Tottenham and Bolton called off just before half-time. Fabrice Muamba collapsing on the pitch. We understand he's being taken to hospital and that they were performing CPR and still trying to revive him as he was taken down the tunnel. Howard Webb calling the game off after 41 minutes. We'll have more on that story next.
Paramedics who were seen attempting to revive him before he was stretchered off after 41 minutes with the score there at 1-1. He was wearing an oxygen mask and was flanked by a number of paramedics and Bolton medical staff as he left the pitch.
Yeah, plenty of tweets coming in from the world of sport, including the former England cricket captain Michael Vaughan, who says this puts all sport into perspective, praying for Muamba. Most probably the most emotional one comes from Middlesbrough defender Justin Hoyt, who came through the Arsenal ranks with him. He says, I seriously hope my best friend in football is okay. Stay strong, bro. Please, please stay strong. God is with you. Remember that.
23 years old, Fabrice Muamba, of course, has been a regular at England under-21 level, played in the European Championship finals for the under-21s. Players from both sides were in tears as the seriousness of the situation became more and more apparent, and indeed some of the players were approaching the referee, Howard Webb, and asking that the game should be abandoned. We saw the Bolton Chenfield guard side down on the pitch as well, speaking with the referee. And Owen Coyle and Kevin Davis have gone to the hospital this evening to be with Fabrice Muamba.
OK, let's take you to White Hart Lane, shall we, and get an update from our reporter, Roger Clark. Who is there? Roger, what can you tell us?
Well, information is, as you'd imagine, quite sketchy at the moment. Obviously, we were all here watching what was an absorbing cut tie in the 41 minutes when Fabrice Muamba went down. There was immediate concern from the Bolton bench. Owen Coyle was out of his seat straight away, saying he just collapsed and there was no one near him. And to get the stretchers on, the stretchers came on as quickly as they could. Howard Webb, the referee, called them on. The Bolton players looked extremely distressed. Some of them came over to the touchline and couldn't bear to watch what was happening. From our vantage point in the press box, we could see a lot of chest pumping going on. Then one of the medics came running off the pitch and returned with a defibrillator. Eventually, Fabrice Muamba was put on and carried away as he came past our position, again, positioned just next to the tunnel. We could see him as he went, and from there he was hurried straight into an ambulance and taken to... The Bolton press officer, Mark Alton, came out and spoke to us, but only to tell us what we already knew, really, was that Fabrice Muamba was on his way. Statement at this stage. We're still waiting to hear from Tottenham. We're told that they will be making some sort of statement shortly, something that they'll inform us, and then something will go up on the Tottenham website. But at the moment, it would be wrong to speculate at all on exactly what has happened, other than that Fabrice Muamba was taken away to hospital. The match has been abandoned, the fans have been sent home, and now we're all just waiting here at White Hart Lane for any further information.
Do we know if the Bolton players and the rest of the squad are still there, or have they left White Hart Lane?
Oh, we know that the manager, Owen Coyle, has with Fabrice Muamba to the hospital. We're currently still pitchside, press and media, we're pitchside, so the movements around the rest of the stadium, we're unsure. We know there are a few Tottenham players still around. I've seen a very down-looking Ledley King come out of the tunnel on the phone. He walked across the pitch. We've seen Brad Fiddle still around, but not really keen to talk, not keen to speculate at all at the moment. I think people are very much in shock as to what has actually gone on here this evening at White Hart Lane. What was a very absorbing and entertaining cup tie has ended before half-time in very, very distressing circumstances.
Roger, thank you very much for the moment. Roger Clark at White Hart Lane there. As soon as Roger hears anything more, we'll be back down there. You can understand the sensitivity.
Yeah, so Fabrice Muamba have been rushed to hospital this evening. The Bolton manager, Owen Coyle, and the club captain, Kevin Davis, apparently went with him in the same ambulance, and we'll keep you right up to date. Just as soon as we hear anything, we'll let you know.
Straight into perspective. So the fans didn't go for a while, but eventually, stand by stand, they were let out. But I would say it took about half an hour for people to decide they wanted to go home, and the players started to one by one walk across the pitch as well. but it just showed, and we talked about this, in football, it's a very uniting thing. It can get a very bad press, can't it, football, on and off the pitch, but this, without a doubt, is a time when everyone unites in and outside the game.
And you were with John Barnes and Kevin Keegan, of course, working this evening on it. I mean, hugely respected men in football, of course. Had either of them ever seen anything quite like this before?
No, neither of them had. I mean, Kevin Keegan actually had Mark Vivian Foe on the Manchester City books, I think I'm right in saying, when Mark Vivian Foe memory of that situation. Of course, we don't know anything at the moment, so we
neither of them being on the pitch in their playing careers where they've experienced someone in such distress. They have seen broken legs
and bad injuries, but never to that extent. And I think to be here and to see someone, any human being, go through that is really quite upsetting, I think, for everybody. And as you say, very respected men in football, and they were truly shocked.
Our colleagues on Sky News are reporting that the hospital issued a statement saying that Fabrice
is in a stable condition. This, of course, after collapsing on the pitch of White Hart Lane this evening.
This statement appears to be coming from the hospital he was taken to, having been given CPR and defibrillation on the pitch, being taken off the pitch on a stretcher, having been given oxygen as well and taken straight to an ambulance and then on to hospital. And it appears at this moment in time that according to a hospital statement, he is now in a sick condition.
He was attended to